done did it all. Yeah, just to show y'all this truth. I done did it all.
Shalom, 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 Israel. First and foremost, give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, Baruch Kadai. We also want to give all glory, honor, and praises to our elders, all of the leaders of Israel out there on this beautiful Sabbath that the Most High has blessed us and made us able to come out here and preach His word. We want to give all praises and honor to all the other Israelites out here doing the same thing as us today, doing our Father's business, bringing out this word to the lost sheep of Israel, to the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called Latinos, so-called Native American Indians, and so-called African Americans. Those are the real 12 tribes of Israel, the chosen people of the Most High, the jewels of the Most High God. But we've been so, indoctrinated and so lost in the sauce that we don't know our true identity. You know what I mean? We let Esau tell us how it is and who we are and where we can go and what our last name is and what we need, to be great and so on and so forth. We like to listen to man, because we can see man, we can touch man. But most of you guys haven't seen the Most High, seen His works before. All you believe in is the things that you can see and physically touch and talk to. And, that's why you guys talk to your idols, right? Esau has all these crafty counsels and wicked devices that he uses to destroy our people, to tear them down, to keep them from building their brothers and sisters up, bringing that true identity back, and that's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun when it comes to the Most High. When it comes to anything, you can bring up anything that you want to, and we can show you in Scripture in the old times that it happened and things that are going to happen. There's nothing new under the sun. The hatred, the wickedness that Esau has for our people, the reason that Esau, does the things that he does to our people, man, this is old. It's old beef. This from the beginning of our times beef. It's nothing new. They've always been on our heels. They've always, kept us from doing good, kept us from knowing who we are. And that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to get into Esau's wickedness, Esau's crafty counsels.
Bring it out!
And why you guys are stuck in the position that you're in. And we're going to start in Genesis, the first book of the Bible. Bring out Genesis 27:42. We're going to go back to where it all started. Because we all know that Jacob and Esau were twins. And brothers do got beef, don't they? Whether they're twins, not twins, brothers and sisters, whatever. You always got beef with your siblings. It's just the way it is. So let's get into it. Go ahead.
Bring it out!
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 42.
Out!
And the words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent out Jacob, her youngest son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau has touching thee, thou confront him, himself proposing to kill thee.
See, Esau went to his mom. A word got to mom, to Rebekah, about Esau wanting to kill his own brother. And not only did he want to kill his own brother, but the way that he felt about it comforted him. It made him feel calm, peace, that it would bring peace to him by killing his brother, by killing his brown-skinned brother. For some odd reason, it was just implanted in his spirit. That was what he was made to do from the beginning of time, even as young kids. He was proposing to kill his brother, Jacob. And who's Jacob? The father of the 12 tribes of Israel. So from the beginning of times, he was purposed in killing our people, man. And they still do that today. They might not come and do it personally, but they'll use their crafty counsels, entertainment, drugs, all kinds of things, money, use your own family against you. You just gotta not be cynical about it, and when you see something, don't be blind to it. Put two and two together. Read, study. Use all these outlets of information on this to understand what's going on, man. To realize the times. Pray to the Most High God that He gives you the spirit to be able to discern good from evil. That's what you should be praying for, not praying that He gives you, exponential riches so you can go blow it off. That's not what you should be praying for. You should pray that He keeps you safe, keeps you out of Esau's hands.
Así es.
That's what you should be praying for. Because all Esau cares about is tearing you down, keeping you from rising above him. And that's prophecy that's going to happen regardless. They just don't know that. Well, they do know that, but that's why they have to Crafty Counsels. To keep us from knowing it. To keep us from rising above them. But the Most High, He's going to do that, so He's going to put us back on top. That's what the scriptures say. That's not what we say. That's what the scriptures say. By Hashem and Hawashah. This ain't nothing new, man. Esau's been hating on our people, the so-called Latinos, Native American Indians, and so-called African Americans for forever. You know what's not to hate about us? We look good, we cook good, we smell good, you know what I mean? Like, what's not to like about us? But I can give you more than I got fingers on my hand reasons that I don't like them, or to not like them in scriptures, not even out of my own opinion. The scriptures talks down about them and bad about them. That was their purpose, though. That's what they were created for. Let the wicked be wicked still, the scriptures say. Don't intermingle with them. Take wives of these heathen nations. Don't go, wanting to be like them and dressing like them, because all that's going to do is teach you how to serve their gods, how to worship the things that they worship. That's all that's going to do. It's not going to do anything for you. It's going to make your God, your power, your Hawashah, it's going to make him turn his face away from you. He's going to hide his face away from you. He's not going to shine the light on you. You're not going to know where to walk. You're going to be stumbling everywhere you go. You're not going to prosper. Nobody's going to listen to you. Your prayers are going to be abominations. You're going to be eating pork, celebrating folly days, so on and so forth. Because you want to be like everybody else. Because you're stuck in the matrix. You don't got the ears to hear and the eyes to see what's going on. You think Esau's your friend because he gives you money. Because he lets you travel. He gives you vacation days. Because Esau's the plug. You think that that's the most that Esau's love. No, those are those Crafty Counsels. That's them prospering from the iniquities of their forefathers. And our job as the Israelites is to carry out our Father's business when He tells us to do it. And that's to do away with all these heathen nations, man. To rise back up on top on a pedestal above all the nations on the earth, man. You got that?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
So they consulted against our hidden ones. The people in our prison homes, people do in-home births and there's kids that don't have social security. Man, you think that they don't know about that? You think that Esau don't know what you guys are doing behind closed doors? You think that he's not monitoring your cell phones and the radio waves in your car? You don't think that he knows what you're doing 24/7? You better believe that he does. If you got a cell phone or you go to work or you got a debit card, credit card, whatever, he knows where you're at. He knows where you spend your money at. He knows where you go every Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I know that when I get into the car and plug my phone up to the car, it tells me where I parked my car at. Even if I'm not there anymore, it'll tell me where my car is at. So you're going to tell me that they don't know where you're at and what you're doing? You can turn your location services off, whatever. They're still going to have some form of GPS tracking on you. when you think that you're hidden and nobody's watching, you better believe that Esau knows what you're doing. He has to, because if he doesn't, then you're gonna have too much freedom. And when you got too much freedom as an Israelite, that's dangerous to somebody like Esau, because that means you got time to study now, to show yourself approved, to find out your true identity. And that's why they're gonna try to rip the prophets off of the corner soon. They're gonna try to get us out from the streets and, you know, put curfews out and all kinds of laws saying that we can't come out and preach the word of the Most High, and we gotta wear masks, and if not, then you're gonna go to jail, and you know, you need to take the vaccine in order to buy and sell and to go to work, and if not, then concentration camps, FEMA camps. You don't want that. That's why we're out here doing our Father's business. That's why we study. That's why we study to show ourselves approved and try to make our strive for greatness, so that we're on the Most High side. Because when it pops off, I don't even want to know that thermonuclear warfare is going to eat you guys up, literally. Your tongues are going to dissolve into the mouth, same thing with your eyeballs and everything. Ain't going to be nothing left. This whole land got to be cleansed of the blood that was shed of our people. And it can only be cleansed by the blood of him that shed it. And when you think about that, who took our people into slavery? Who took this land from our people and shed the Native American Indians' blood all over this land? Esau. So whose blood is the one that's going to cleanse it? Esau. The so-called red man. You guys are so-called friend. The guy that you guys pray to on Sunday in the church. Caesar Borgia. That guy, we need his blood. If we take it his blood, then we'll take it from his children. You know, the Bible says, you know, that's what the scripture says. Prepare slaughter for the children, for the forefathers' iniquity. And last time I checked, that blood hasn't been shed of the people that took our people into captivity yet. You know, it might be shed on a small scale, you know, from the gangbang violence and whatnot. But that's just vain vengeance. The Most High's going to come back and get the ultimate revenge. He's going to desolate everything how it was ordained to be. I see it! The 2/3 of Israel got to go. The nations got to go. All that has to blow over first before the new kingdom comes into play. Before Israel can be back on top again. That's what we're patient for. You know, that's the patience of the saints. Is that we're waiting for the day to come. We're not trying to take vengeance into our own hands or you know, take our pockets, our financial status into our own hands. We need that up to the new God. You know, the Most High said, don't think about what you're gonna eat or what you're gonna wear or none of that. I know what you need to want, and I'm gonna give it to you, but you gotta hearken unto me first. You got that?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 21.
No.
It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, not possess the land, not fill the face of the world with cities.
See, we don't want to see Esau rise no more. We don't want to see them have no more empires and stuff like that, because every time that they did, our people suffered. Our people got the bad end of the stick. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Every time. So we need the blood of the children for the iniquities of the forefathers, for the things that have happened to our people. The slavery that happened to our people, the bloodshed, the massacres, smallpox, all that. We need it all back, collateral. You know, an eye for an eye, the Most High says. You know, but we're not going to take that upon our own selves. We're going to wait and be patient for the Most High to come back and do it himself. Yay! Bring out Psalms 83 and 5. That's right there.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 5, where they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
See, man, the Esau, these other heathen nations, man, they like to team up with each other. And then they become confederate against the Israelites. oh, well, they're a national terrorist group and they preach hate and whoop-de-wop whoop and this and that. But don't listen to them guys. And, you know, when we post on Instagram or Facebook, then they come and flag our posts. Oh, fact check. This is incorrect. Well, according to the 2020 census and so, well, this doesn't correlate with our information, so this is false. You shouldn't believe it. They're always coming and trying to keep us from getting this word out. Trying to keep us from telling the Latinos, our people, that they're the chosen people of the Most High God.
Yes.
They're trying to keep us from telling our people, put the pork down. Stop celebrating these folly days. Christmas and Easter and Valentine's Day. What about the Passover? What about the Sabbath? What about the Feast of Dedication? What about the Day of Atonement? You guys know about any of those days? These high holy days? No, but you know about National Pancake Day, National Hot Dog Day, National Pumpkin Day. All of these days that mean nothing to you or your God or your power. Because you don't read the study to show yourself true. You don't know that the Most High God made pigs for a certain purpose. And that said that they're an abomination for you to eat. Our people out there eating carnitas and chicharrones and all kinds of stuff. Camarones. All that stuff is forbidden for us, for our people to eat in the Bible. Our people ride around with the rosary beads, all kinds of stuff. Man, all those things were forbidden for our people to do in the Bible. You don't know because you don't read. You go to church and listen to it from the pastor. And all he's telling you is what the 501c3 allows him to tell you, which is a bunch of bullcrap. The same thing that you're going to hear over and over and over again the entire time that you go to church. But if you come over here and question us, come listen to us, we're going to tell you some things that are going to benefit you. We're going to let you know who your enemies are, who you are according to the Bible. We're going to let you know that you're from the tribe of Ashar or Issachar or Judah or Benjamin, Levi. We'll let you know. Esau, he's going to tell you that you're Mexican. He's going to tell you that you speak Spanish or English or French. He's going to tell you that, oh, your last name is Escaleras. Your last name is Johnson. And your first name is Timothy. Now, we don't know that. We don't even know that language. You need to come find out your Hebrew name. Find out who you really are.
Así es.
Esau's not going to tell you. They're not going to let you be who you really are. Because if they do, then you're going to rise above them. And that's not what they want. Because once they do that, they lose power. They lose rulership. And nobody wants to do that. Nobody in their right mind would give up a position of authority. But we need to take it back and then not give it up. We need to stop being that backsliding nation, the Israel that has been talking about. Because we get out of jail and we go right back. We get out of jail, we live good for a minute, but then we go right back. Every time. Those generational curses, man, we gotta break them. Verse 5:73.
This is the book of 1 Esdras, chapter 5, and verse 73. And by their secret plots and popular persuasions and commotions, they hinder the finishing of the building all the time that King Cyrus lived. So they were hindered from building from the space of 2 years until the reign of Darius.
See right there in that scripture, you know, they were building a temple. They were building a house for the Most High. These heathen nations, they came and they hindered them with secret plots, popular persuasion, sent people around door to door. Hey, well, you know that so-and-so said that if you're caught outside at 12 o'clock, they're gonna swing by and they're gonna pick you up. They're gonna lock you up. You know, they use these popular persuasion, send people out that got a good speaking voice to persuade people, and they hinder us from building our people up. They hinder us from building these temples. You know, the Most High don't dwell in the temple made with hands. He dwells in us. We are the temple. And Esau likes to keep us from building up the temple. Our brothers, our sisters, the nation of Israel. That's what we come out here to do, to build y'all up. But Esau got all these crafty counsels, holidays, all these things, man, to keep you guys from being able to come get this information, to come get this word, to hearken into the voice of Yahweh. They don't want it, man. They'd rather be doing other things on the Sabbath, buying and selling, partying. You know, this is my only day off of the week. Saturday, Sunday, woo. Time to go drink, baby. Nah, man, it's time to study. It's time to get into the word today. Today's the Sabbath, man. Today's supposed to be a day of rest for you. You're not supposed to buy or sell.
That's right.
You're not supposed to work or do anything that you like to do today. Today's about the Most High. You're supposed to be studying.
I see it.
That's what you can work on. Work on yourself. Untap from the matrix today. That's what today is about. Today's not a day that you're supposed to be going to the bank and getting money out. Not buying groceries and pork tacos. That's not what you're supposed to be doing today, man. You're supposed to be getting in the word, resting, relaxing, getting away from Esau and all his crafty counsels. Unless you're like the 2/3 of Israel, that backsliding nation, and you love your enemy. You love him like your parents. That is your God, Esau. Money and God we trust, right? Our God is the Most High God, Yahweh Abanawa. That's our God. Our whole 2 Samuel 4:11. You know, man, Esau doesn't want us to know our power, man. Because what does the power do? It makes you do stuff. It makes you move. It moves you to do things. They want to be your power. They want to be your God. They want to make you move to the beat of your own drum. That's what they like to do. They want to make you like them. Asexual, with these vaccines and all these things that they're doing. You know, pushing gender neutral things. Man, there's a reason that man was created and woman were created and they were different. But now they got a vaccine for the man and they got a vaccine for the woman. The woman vaccine makes the women produce male hormones. And the male vaccine makes the males produce women hormones. So they're trying to turn the men into women and turn the women into men. Just like their God, just like the Baphomet. He got boobs with the goat body and the horns, and that's their God. They're trying to make us like them because you guys want to be like them. You guys want to hang out with them, right? No, man, the Bible tells us to do away with these heathen nations, man. Don't celebrate the things that they celebrate. Don't eat the things that they eat. And he only told that to the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called Latino, so-called Native American Indians, and so-called African Americans. Those are his people. That's the chosen seed of the Most High God. Not any other nation. Not the Arabs, not Esau, not the Moabites, not any of them. They didn't get the promise of the Most High God. They didn't get his law, statutes, and commandments. They know of them now because of, you know, churches and, the Catholic Church taking it and taking books out and changing a couple of words, adding jots and tittles here and there, which the scripture said not to do. They still did it anyway. They put it back onto the population and they gave it back to us in English. And then they taught us how to speak English. Man, our people didn't speak English. They spoke Paleo-Hebrew. The original tongue. That's what we spoke, man. We don't know what an English is, or a Spanish, or an Irish. Why do we speak English when ish means pertaining to? So we speak a language pertaining to England. Why? We've never been to England before. I'm not from England. I don't have an English last name or an English first name. I mean, I got a regular name that's in English, but what do I have to do with England? What do any of you guys have to do with Spain? Oh, well, guess what? We have English conquistadors. We have English slave owners and so on and so forth. That's why we have these last names and speak these languages. And all that happened because we chose not to listen to the Most High God. We chose not to hearken unto His voice. So He put a ruler over us, our own people, our own brother. And He said, you know what, you guys, you're gonna be twins, and you guys are gonna be. Esau's gonna pummel you into the ground because you choose not to listen to me. You choose not to listen to your father. But once you come back, he's not gonna be able to harm you no more. You're gonna rise above him. But you gotta come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments first.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 4, verse 11. How much more when wicked man have slain a righteous person in his own house upon his bed? Shall I not therefore now require his blood of your hand?
Isn't that what Esau does, man? They come into your house, ICE, come pick you up at 2, 3 in the morning. No questions asked, no warrants, no nothing, no knock at the door, they're in, snatching you up, throwing you against the wall, beating you, kicking you, nightsticks, all pepper spray, killing our brothers right in their own homes, in their beds. People with so-called mental disorders and stuff. You got the neighbors calling cops on them, the cops show up to their house, you know, catch them in the middle of the night, still waking up, blah, 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 shots all over the night. Isn't that what they do? The Most High says, don't think that I'm not going to require their blood. Because he's going to require the blood of the person that shed the blood in order to cleanse him. So that's something that you need to think about if you're going to be a gang banger or you want to get into these crafty counsels that Esau put forth in front of you. Gang banging is one of them. You know, you want to put your life on the line and go out there and shed blood. The Most High is going to require your blood, homie. Best believe that. What goes around comes around. People don't believe in karma. It's real. Psalms 37:12. You know, they're after us, man. They don't want us to prosper and find out our true identity. You know, they didn't want Donovan to know that his name was Hawan, Banashar. They didn't want him to know his name was Yam Yam. They didn't want him to know his name was Raboban. They wanted us to call ourselves by our heathen names, our government names. Man, we don't go by that, man. That's why you'll see us out here wearing no masks. We're not afraid of no COVID. We're afraid of our God, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. That's who we're afraid of.
That's right.
We don't need no masks. We're not afraid of no sickness or nothing. If you're afraid of sickness, that's because you don't know the Father. That's why. That's why you wear the mask, because you don't got nobody to trust in. You don't trust nobody. You don't have no power to save you in sickness. You don't got a God that's gonna heal you. Your God is the doctor, medicine, pharmakeia, drugs. That's your God. That's what Esau taught you. He didn't teach you how to pray. He didn't teach you how to fast so that the Most High will hear you. He didn't teach you that. He taught you how to go to the doctor to prescribe, then to go to the pharmacy and pick up some drugs. And then told you it's illegal to go see your own blood though. What? That's those crafty counsels of Esau, man. Those secret plots that they use to tear our people down and keep us from building up our people. Go ahead.
Come on. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 20 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of Yahweh our God.
At all times, man, we will remember that name. That's what we live for. That's what we live by, man. Some trust in horses, some trust in chariots. We know that the chariots are going to come up when it's time for the war to pop off and come and get us off this earth. But see, people out here that are going to trust these horses, man. They're going to get on their horses and start riding around and try to take matters into their own hand. Man, you fighting spiritual warfare. The Most High is going to destroy you and that horse. You know why? Because He made both of y'all. He He don't care about how you feel, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 12. The wicked plotted against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth.
They plot against us, man. They plot against us in secret. They plot against you in your face. When you're not around, when they think that you're not listening, when they think that you're down and out, that's when they plot on you the most. But they don't just plot on anybody, they plot on the righteous, the people that are out here, the prophets, the people that are trying to get this word out, the people that are trying to break this word down and translate it back into the original tongue. That's who Esau's coming after. They're coming after us because we're coming after them. We're done with the slavery, man. We're tired of being at the bottom of the totem pole. It's time for the people that put us there to see what it's like, get a taste of their own medicine, their own pharmakeia. That's what it's time for. Show them how it is. Bring out Psalms 37:14.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 14.
No!
The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy.
Who's the poor and needy, man? Israel. Most of our people don't got crazy money. Most of our people don't have everything that they need to be happy in life. Everything that you need, though, is the Most High God. Because He knows what you want. He knows what you need because He made you. He knew you before He formed me in the womb. He knows how many hairs you got on your head, how many hairs you got on your legs, on your feet. I bet you don't know. I bet you Esau doesn't know. I bet you the doctors or the scientists don't know. So why do you go to them? Why do you guys seek counsel and knowledge from these people that don't know anything about you? Huh? That it doesn't make sense. But what we should be doing is going to the Most High God, the person that knows everything about us. Asking Him for something, for help. We should be offering ourselves as a living sacrifice to Him, so that way we can get what we need and get what we want. Not going to Esau, not going to the heathen. They're not going to do anything for you but tear you down, but keep you down. They want to use us. Esau loves to use us, man. They want to use us. They want to use us and keep us down. They want to draw us dry twice or thrice in a row till we have absolutely nothing. Till we're at our lowest point where most of our people commit suicide or turn to drugs or just give up on life. In and out of jail all the time. Well, this is my home. It's more dangerous on the street for me than it is in here. Because I've just given up, bro. I can't trust nobody. I don't have nobody. My family hates me. I go out there and I'm just tempted in the streets, man. So I'd rather just be in prison. I'd rather just be locked up here, man. That's the foolery of our people. Because they don't have no laws, no instructions or guidance on how to live their life. They think the law is done away with. They think the instructions and guidance on how to live their life is done away with. And that's why you guys are walking around lost, man. Go ahead.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 3. The rich man hath done wrong, and yet he threatened withal. The poor is wronged, and he must entreat also.
See, these rich people, Esau, man, these people, Pelosi and Biden and all these people, these rulers, man, they can do all the wrong in the world. Drop bombs on innocent people, killed their own people, 9/11, so on and so forth, but yet people still trust them. People still trust them with their lives. People still give in and buy into their companies, still invest, our hard-earned money into these things that were set up against our people. Our people are confused. But the rich man, he does wrong and our people still exalt him. But we see these homeless people and bums out here and we'll look at them and throw the nasty lip at them. Like, why are you out here doing that? What's wrong with you? Like, why are you that way? Why don't you have a car and have a nice house and have nice clothes and whoop you out? And why? I ain't helping you. I gotta get out here on my own. But then you got the rich people that live in Hollywood that own banks and so on and so forth, and you guys will willingly give your money to these people and say, here you go. I'm gonna go put my whole check in the bank so that the bank can spend it on whatever they need, their other businesses and other clothing lines and ventures that they got going, in hopes that my money will still be there when I need it. Because that's all you do is deposit your money into their account, they spend it, and it's still kind of there because they're making their money back already, you know what I mean, off of your money. But that's all you're doing is letting them spend your money for you. And you still got, they'll profit off of your money and you still got the same amount of money. That sounds like super trapping right there, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying, man? You're making double profit off of free money? That sounds like a pyramid scheme and a half, if you ask me. But our people are blind. Our people don't see that. They you know what I mean? They just don't. Because they don't study to show themselves approved. They don't open the Bible and read more than the pastor tells them to, you know?
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 10.
No.
Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is the wickedness.
So you should never trust your enemy. Never trust Esau. You know why? Because over time, he might come at you and say, well, I can use this brother, you know? He works hard. Let me throw a couple dollars at him real quick, see how he reacts to this offer. You know, they're gonna play it cool at first. Hey bro, here's a drink, here's some food, let me take you out real quick. All I need you to do is build this house for me, bro. That's it. I'll pay you this much money. Boom, you take the job, he start building this house for you. And then he tells you, well, I don't got no equipment or nothing, you gotta bring your own equipment, pay for all this, the supplies and everything, but I'm only gonna pay you $10 a day. Well, you didn't already sign the contract, and guess what? So now his wickedness is showing. It's always going to show, just like iron rusted. It might be shiny at first, polished up, but after, it gets wet a couple times, the sun shines on it, it gets weathered and withered, it's going to show its true rust. It's going to be all corroded underneath, on the inside. It's going to be of no value, and that's how Esau is. That's how the heathens are. They're of no value. They're like a drop in a bucket. You know what I mean? They don't have no flavor to them, no sauce. Israel got all the sauce. We got all the flavor. Why do you think our people always make fun of how they cook? Oh, they don't never put no seasoning. They don't got no flavor, man. That's why they hate on us. Bring out Ecclesiastes 10 and 2. They love to use us. They use us for their own vain profit and their own vain glory. And we don't get nothing for it. We get a couple dollars here and there if we're lucky.
Yeah, 10:2. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is. Such are all they that dwell therein.
See, Esau sets himself up as the ruler, as the king, the president. And then from there, he sets up his own vice president. Then he sets up, the judges in the judicial court and the Supreme Court and so on and so forth. But have you ever noticed a common trend in these people? That they're always of a heathen nation? Always. It's always either an Edomite or an Arab or something, or it's never one of our people though. And if it is like Barack Obama so-called was, they're indoctrinated and they're one of them anyways. Because guess what? They went to college and they learned the same thing that George W. Bush learned. And then all these other Edomites learned. They set up their own judges, the police force, their own enforcement, their laws, and they're all in their own image. So guess what? The people that dwell in the land, the people that are in the world and of the world, you guys are just like them. So guess what? You're going to get destroyed just like them. You're going to be that 2/3 of Israel that gets destroyed right along with the heathen. And the Most High is not going to bat an eye and think twice about it. He's not going to feel bad, nothing. He rewarded you with a just reward for the works that you put in this life, or in your past life, or in the life before. He's going to reward you for that. And because all you did was wicked, He's going to give you a wicked death, man.
Así es.
Bring out Ecclesiastes 10:4.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time He will set over it one that is profitable.
See, in due time, man, when Yahweh comes back and gets His vengeance on these heathen nations, gets His vengeance on His own people that have done Him wrong, He's going to set a ruler upon the whole world, all of the people. And those rulers are going to be of the 12 tribes of Israel, the nation of Yasharallah. That's who's going to rule the world, rule the people, put the law, statutes, and commandments back out into the earth. Make sure that everybody knows the name of the Most High God. It's not going to be no little kids screaming like you said. We're going to have structure when we come back. We're going to have the Most High with us when we come back.
Yes!
Ain't going to be no more Christianity or any of these religions or Catholicism. Ain't going to be no more of these folly days. None of that. And that's why we remain patient. Because it's prophecy. And what's in this book, it has to happen because the Most High said it. And that's what we believe in. That's what we do it for, our Father. Today we tap into our Father's wisdom. And we're out here doing His work. The work that you can do on the Sabbath. The Most High's work. We have Ecclesiastes. We're going to bring out one more scripture and then we're going to close it there, man. If you guys are still, want to hang out with Esau, that's on you, do you. I don't know what your destruction is going to be, what your end is going to be like, so I'm going to stay far away from you. Unless you want to come over here and ask a couple questions and find out your true identity and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, they're going to be more than happy to, take some time out of the Most High's day and build with you. Be more than happy to. You got that? Go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 15.
Bring it out!
That which hath been is now, and that which is to have already been, and God required that which is past.
See, so anything that Esau's done, anything that you've done in the past life, all that slavery that we went through, smallpox, all the sicknesses and diseases that we've been through, that the heathen has brought to us. All the prison houses that have been built and that we've been locked in, the Most High is going to require and look over all of that. And He's going to require it, man. He's going to do due diligence and and repay the people that did these stupid things to us, that did these evil, wicked things to us. He's going to repay them. He's going to get his vengeance on the heathen. And until that day, we remain patient. Until that day, we still study to show ourselves more approved in the last days. And that's what all of the nations of Israel, all of our brothers and sisters, the Latinos, Native American Indians, and so-called African Americans should be doing. Striving for greatness. Striving for righteousness. Striving to be upright, integral, perfect. And if you're not, then you're going to be the 2/3. And there's nothing that we can tell you. We can't help you. The Most High doesn't want you to answer the phone. He's calling, but he don't want you to answer. And there's nothing that we can do about that. But if you wanna separate yourself, be Kadash from Esau, from the rest of the heathen nations, then come take a campfire and tap in. But until then, let's say Kwam Yasha'Allah, Kwam Yasha'Allah, Kwam Yasha'Allah, Shalom.
Lord save me. I know these suckers really hate me. I guess they mad cause they ain't me. You can try what you want, but God is for me. Them angels all around, so you can't harm me. For nada, for wada, for all your protection and your presence, blessings and your provisions.